Oh man, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 3 of Podcember, Carolyn and Joe Show's Podcember, 31 days of podcasting. This is for today's episode of December 3rd. December 3rd, right, Carolyn?
That is correct, and it's Sunday now.
And now it is Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached that day, we've reached that time that there's no turning back. I guess there really is a turning back, but just so you guys know that you're tuning in, you can actually... If you're listening to us live on Instagram, you can ask us questions there. Also, this show is also going to get posted on YouTube, so you can watch it there as well. But just so you know, my name is Joe Carabeo. I'm a filmmaker, photographer, a writer, a musician, but today I am a podcaster. Across from me in this studio, in the Astray Productions studio, the greatest mind in all of the universe, one of the guardians of the galaxies herself, Carolyn Belefski. How you doing today, Carolyn?
I am Groot.
That's right. Groot. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it is. Cutting right to the chase. Right to the chase. December 3rd. A lot of stuff. I guess a lot of stuff is happening. We've readjusted this room now. So it's a little bit, but now like the pocket viewing area is a slightly bit different. But we want to see if your voice can come over across for the Instagram listeners. But who knows? Who knows how it really works? Now we're catering.
I am Groot.
We're catering to so many things now. It's sort of nuts. You know what I'm saying?
I am Groot.
So we just got done.
If I just did the whole
it would suck. But
I know.
But we just got done. We had an appearance over at McKay's down in Manassas. McKay's, what's it called?
McKay's Used Books.
McKay's Used Books. A fine time there.
There's always something to discover. I see like the most random stuff there that I would never find, I don't know, in my real life, I guess. But then like when I'm roaming the aisles of halls of, it's much like a library, I guess. They just have different topics organized. And whenever I'm roaming...
It's just like a library with different topics organized?
Yeah, it's, like a library has different topics.
Yeah.
Like mystery or... like music and stuff. And I roam the halls. And my favorite section has been the music section. And then right next to it is design, like literally right next to it. Like you only have to move one footstep. And it just happens to be my little area, I guess. That's cool. And also the cookbook area, they have like so many cookbooks.
Yeah.
This year I didn't really look at the cookbooks, I guess at this visit, I didn't really look at the cookbooks as much. I kind of glazed over it as I was walking to the bathroom.
Sure.
But they have tons of cookbooks, and like some of them are like 10 cents.
I mean, those prices,
like,
those are the deals.
Those are deals.
When you go to a used bookstore, those are sort of the things you look for. It's a very popular bookstore.
I mean, think of how many recipes you can do. Like so many.
Yeah.
Just 10 cents.
So many I can't even think of.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's in Manassas, so check it out if you haven't been, and we'll probably be back again. We'll see. I know like we started doing the McKay's shows last year, and we did 2 shows so far. We did December and then we did April this year and December of last year, and now we're doing December of this year. So we've done 3 shows so far, and it looks like we're doing it twice a year, like every 6 months or so. Like April, December seem to be a good way of doing it.
What happens if I move my setup? Now they can see my headphones, so we're actually looking.
We're looking directly at each other.
Directly at each other, just like how it used to be. Just like how that time used to be. I'll move this cord so it's not in the viewers at home. Now we're face to face, and I can go back and forth, and I can still try to mix this thing live.
Yeah, I like that because I was like only looking at your shoulder. It wasn't really like I was getting a connection.
There's never a connection.
When you just look at someone's shoulder.
There's never a connection when you're just going, looking at the shoulder. I'll try to figure this thing out. So on Instagram, not on Instagram, so on Facebook, a couple days ago, I reposted a video that was a scene from, or it's a GIF from Parks and Rec. And I forgot the guy's character who has the mustache.
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson's character basically smashing a cell phone, and the meme of the GIF is saying, "I don't like group texts," and I had to repost that because I'm actually a firm believer in my personal life that I actually really despise group text.
Now, what type of group text are you talking about? Like,
well, I think the GIF was
more specific.
Well, I think on the GIF, the GIF of Ron Swanson that I reposted was, I think like it was like how I am after like 256 text messages in the past 3 minutes on a group text, like one of those things. And I totally understand. That's why I don't do group text, because it's always.
Is it like a happy holidays thing?
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. But like,
so like group meaning more than 2 people. Like if it's a 3-person group text, well, that's just
just a normal text. If it's just like 2 people talking.
Yeah, I know. But so when making it 3 is a group.
Yeah, like anything.
So 3 and up.
Yeah. Anything more than one-on-one, I really get annoyed with. Anytime where I'm not part of this conversation and it's still going, and I get notified of a conversation, and people have their own like small not jabs, but just their own jokes and they're all that, like stuff like that. And
you feel like you're not in the inner circle, but you're still like looking at their dialogue.
No, I mean sure, but like just the fact that I have to, like, I don't care to hear any of that. You know what I mean? And I feel like in my past that I've offended many people just because I'm like, I don't do group text. Sorry, I'm not going to answer. Like, I don't, very, very seldom I will actually answer through the group text. Like, if someone includes me in the group text, so Joe, what do you think about this? Or we're waiting on Joe. I don't want to answer in the group text.
Now, how is that any different from a group email? Because let's say you're working on a project with people.
Yeah.
And like, let's say you are actually meeting like in person, right?
Yeah.
And then like, so it's a group of like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 people. And you're like, hey, we're meeting today at 5 p.m. at the museum.
Yeah.
And then like someone texts back like, well, are we meeting by the front door or inside the lobby? Like it's like, like, so something like that, would that frustrate you? Or that's like more of necessary information? Well,
with that situation, that sort of makes sense. But like, still, I'm just out. See, there comes a certain point where every single time I've been included in a group text, it sort of like runs wild on itself, where people start making smart ass comments or just comments in general that have nothing to do with what's happening.
So you only like it if it like logistically is about like getting the business done and like organizing people.
Well, because there's a certain point where I don't want a notification of everything that's happening, because a lot of times then that means I gotta be privy to like, oh, but this person said this one or this one. Like you get all this other bullshit.
On the Facebook messaging, you can actually leave a conversation.
Yeah.
So can you leave a group text?
I don't know. I've never tried, and I have tried to leave a group text.
It'd be like, Joe has left the conversation.
But they don't say. It doesn't say. You just get the text. On that you just keep on getting texts and all this stuff, and then you guys. I also feel like with the overall, because say if it was a group email, I feel like a group email is easier for me to go back and backtrack and do all this, find all this information that I need to, right? But on a text, it gets really more annoying because I gotta scan and I'm on my phone and and all this stuff, and then it just comes down to like a waste of time for me, because it's not really cutting to the point. I feel like it gets more jokey, and I just get more like.
So it's almost like IMs, like the days of AOL. It kind of reminds me of that, like where it's just like bloop 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 bloop, and then you're getting all this information and it's not really super relevant, or like you're just getting people like sending smiley faces and stuff back and forth.
It turns into that, like every single, like an email, it doesn't see, like an email, I feel like a group email, I feel like people keep it more professional or more of the info that needs to happen.
Yeah.
But I feel like in a group text, sometimes people forget it's a group that 5 other people are getting this, and it becomes like, oh, now here everyone listen to my day story about this sucks and all this. I'm like, dude, I don't really care, And that's why I hate group text, and that's why I posted that. And I felt like it felt really good for once when I saw other people like sort of like or laugh at it and agree, like, yeah, group text sort of suck.
Yeah, it does. Maybe when you get one, you can just have like a straight up policy of yourself.
No,
and
I
like
say
people know as soon as you get a group text, you'd be like, this is the only reply I'll ever send in this group text. And be like, I don't like group text.
I literally say fuck group text. I'm not doing this. I'm at to that point. But people get offended. Like, I feel like I've had people get literally mad and offended, or feel like, no, they don't want to be friends. You don't even answer the group text anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's on you, man.
It gets too personal.
Well, I still answer individually though. I still answer Like, I won't answer in the group, but I'll send them a personal text like, hey, dude, I'll be there. You know?
You're more of a one-on-one guy than a group guy.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's what it comes down to. Like,
it feels like I'm being forced into a group situation, and I'm not a group person, you know?
Yeah. That's what it comes down to. You're really just not a group guy.
But
you're not, like, going to join clubs or be... I don't know, you never were that type. You can, like, loosely be associated with certain factions, but you're not going, like, out of your way to be like, I'm going to be a group thing.
Yeah, but I feel... Part of me feels bad too because I'm like, well, they're like, you know, some people are like, well, you don't want to be part of the group text. I guess you're not part of the group. And I'm like, well, fine, dude.
But then that's the flip side of it. There are some people that like they don't want one-on-one. They love groups. Like they want to be part of the pack.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think like you're more of like a lone wolf when it comes to that. You don't want to be part of the pack.
Well, yeah,
you want to do your thing.
I mean, I like packs, but
then
I
you
don't
do like working with others. It's not like that you're against. It's not like you want to be a single solitary force in that sense because, you know, since you do filmmaking and all that stuff, like that definitely requires a team effort.
Yeah, but also it has a leadership to it too. That's really important. But you know what's funny is a lot of times with the filmmaking stuff, even with the film crews, that it's not, we don't really use group text, or at least in my
not in terms of text. I'm saying like in general, like you can work with a group and in certain ways you want to be part of a group.
Yeah.
And have
I like I like a team.
Yeah.
You know? I just don't like group text. I just want to put that out there. I will never do group text.
But I wonder what makes the text part of it like worse. Just
because you get because
texting is like the worst form of communication.
No. Well, one of the things
Facebook is probably worse.
Well, one of the I mean, Facebook is fine with communication. It's just one of the things is like, maybe. Yeah, but when you get a ding from a Facebook message, you know that's directly to you. But
no, they have the group ones.
Oh yeah, that's again a group thing. That's freaking annoying. So that situation is annoying for me too. But when on a text message, like you're like, oh, someone's actually sending me a message. Oh, it's another. Oh, they're not talking. Oh, another one. Oh, they're not talking about me. Oh, another one. Oh, screw this. Or now it's a joke. Am I supposed to be? Oh, now I got to go back and read the rest of this stuff.
Yeah, the group things are always funny because like the main group thing that. I think maybe you participate more in group texting than I do, but the main...
No, I don't. And I don't know. I really hate them, but like...
But one thing I'm always roped into, and this is like a kind of cool thing that they're putting together, is a lot of the artists that I do conventions with, sometimes I get roped into like a group conversation because after doing... Comic-Cons for so many years, like you get to know some of the other exhibitors.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get roped into their conversations and they're like trying to like get a group deal on like a hotel or like staying together and stuff and or like driving somewhere and all that. And like sometimes like I'll still be on it and I'm like totally like I'll let them know, be like, oh no, I already have my own arrangements, but thanks for including me or something like that. But then like I'm still somehow roped into it and then I end up seeing like all their plans and stuff, which I'm like, okay, that's cool. But you know, like there's like 1 million people on an email, not 1 million, but like you have 15 people on an email like that. Then, you know, sometimes it gets a little rough.
And one of the things that's also like on like a post, say when people, I don't know if you've been included in this a lot, but sometimes when people are like promoting, like say like we're releasing a new music video. And like, if I didn't even like work on it or even care about it or even hear about it, but you still get tagged on it, and then you see like 100 other people have been tagged, that part gets really, really, really like that's just sort of.
You know what that is though?
That's a dick move right there.
That's a signal boost.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
Because they're letting everyone know, like, hey, we just started our Kickstarter, and like it's a way for like them to get the news out as quickly as possible to as many people as possible. So part of me gets it, and I'm okay with them doing it one time. But if it's like multiple times or gets to be annoying.
But that stuff, if I get tagged, that goes on my page though too.
That's only if you approve it.
Well, on mine, it's open like that. So
well, then maybe you gotta change your settings. Because at one time, I'll say like somebody told me that too. Because I was like, man, everyone just tags me, and then like all their stuff's like on my page, and like, and then I'm like, that's not cool. Because for a while, like a few people like kept putting their stuff like on my thing, you know. And like somebody was like, you know, you can change that, right? And this was like a few years ago, and I didn't know, and I was like, what? Oh, you can? And so I went into my privacy settings, and now like basically anything that's on my wall has to be approved by me first. And like, yeah, it kind of sucks because then it has to take time to like for me to like look at it and stuff. But I think it is good to actually have that on because you never know what somebody's going to post, and you could be sleeping or something and they could post like something horrible and have your name attached to it. Because I think that's what somebody did once. I don't even know who it was. It was somebody I didn't even know on Facebook, but I was friends with them. And they posted something that was like, wasn't like super horrible, but I remember being like, I don't want this on my page.
Yeah.
And they like tagged whatever 50 people or whatever, how many they had on there. And I was like, I'm taking this off. And then I think that was like the last straw on my privacy thing, because I always used to defend it because I was like, cool, well, you know, like what if, you know, I want like the good things where people like tag you at an event or something. Like I'm like, cool, that's cool that they took my picture and like
let's hope it's a good photo, right?
Yeah, and like hope that it's good and stuff. And like for a while I was always defending that, but then I was like, man, this is the last straw. Like I don't want other people's whatever stuff they're putting up there like under my name. I was like, that's kind of just wrong. So I did put that privacy setting on.
I mean, that's good.
But I feel like you're on Facebook enough that like you probably should put that on, because it's not like you're neglecting it and you're not going to approve anything. You know, you do go on daily. So, you know, you always are checking it so then you can like approve stuff quickly. I think you should put it on because you never know, there's going to come a time at like, you know, whenever you do sleep or like 3 a.m. or something, and like someone might put up like something that's totally self-promoting themselves, and then it's on your site and you're like, why?
Yeah, and I usually like if they do that and I have nothing to do with it, I usually just like scrub that and erase it like super fast.
But it's still already up there on your thing. So like I would just put up I mean, maybe try it for a week and see if you like having to approve other people's stuff.
I mean, I think I might have it.
I don't know.
I think I might have it because I do remember I do have to approve certain things on there. Even when I tag myself on photos, like I still have to approve that.
Oh,
like,
so then it shouldn't be a problem for you then.
Yeah, so I think when I do that, it's still there. But even the fact of people like just tagging me in general just to do that, it's like sort of like a scummy thing too, you know. But like I guess that's the world. That's the world, man. So you know what's funny? A unique thing, not a unique thing. But a part that I found was really entertaining. So while we're at McKay's and we have our tables next to each other, like with Julian who created the Ant, right? Or not Ant-Man, but like Ants, the comic book Ants, and Sean Casley, the creator, Sean Casley, the creator of I forgot the book.
Panda Force.
Panda Force. See, a thing that happens that's always unique when we're at McKay's or any other convention is the amount of time that people talk to us at the table. And I think this has only really happened at McKay's because I guess McKay's is a huge used bookstore that has like the biggest and best used bookstore like in Northern Virginia. Has so many things. I buy comics like a lot every time I'm there. But we always have like older people walk around there too. Like really like I guess old who've seen some great times. I've had amazing stories.
By old, because I don't want to make us like super ageist or something.
No, but they're old.
No, we're talking about like
Yeah, we're talking like grandparents. We're talking about
like Santa.
People who've been to the war, you know?
Yeah, like literally, they tell us war stories.
And like it was so like, because I think this happened to us before last time we were there. But all of a sudden, this older guy starts talking to Sean and Julian, and he's telling like. I don't know what it is, but he's like, yeah, I remember back in my day, like it was literally like back in my day, you know, I don't know about comics, but then I read a lot of comics, you know, and then he was talking in that pace.
No, this is literally what was said because I wrote it in my notebook. I'm just gonna do the opening line. He was like, you know, I never really was a comic book kid, and then Julian was like, oh, well, what were you into? And then the old guy was like, forts. Tree forts.
Tree forts. I love tree forts.
Like he was like tree forts.
But then I feel like
I was like, what's going on?
That was the beginning, and I felt like I feel like after 20 minutes, like there are so many times where I'd look left and I was like, dude, this guy is still talking. Like he's like
he just went off about like alfalfa and stuff. Like what was
I remember when I was we went and when I was young and we were making tree forts. They chose that different type of wood, you know, the tree that you can put inside. But like
he was talking about how like I guess one of them got injured making a tree fort.
It was so amazing because he wasn't like how I am. He wasn't rushing through his story or anything. It was really this evenly, awesomely paced, like
slow.
So here we go, and like, you know, Janet comes in. And then she's talking how she doesn't want to do that, and then I want to do that too. But you know, we're back in the day, and so it was sort of like, and like I used to turn around, like man, and like that. I feel like that happened to us last year, where a guy was like, "Yeah, I won't be able to buy the Leggets for my wife because she's not into that's crazy stuff." But I do remember when I was a young man, and I went back into the old clubs back in the day. And I remember like I was listening to that last year of a guy talk in that same pace. And I was like, how am I going to get out of this? I was like, yeah, man, right.
But last year, the guy was like talking about how like, you know, he was into our book, The Leggets, which is about burlesque dancers. And then he did say, I don't know if my wife would like approve of this or whatever. And then he started like, he's like, oh, I remember. Like, it was like as if from out of nowhere, this dream came to him from like his past, and he was like he's like in high school or something. He's like, I remember.
We went to like a Forrest Gump like multi-chapter like tale that he had to take when he was younger.
And that's what I think what happens with old people is like they'll see something, and then like it will open up their memory bank that they hadn't heard or thought of that story in like years like or decades.
It's amazing.
And then they're
see.
Like, I remember Norma Jean. He was like talking about this chick named, I don't know, Norma Jean, and she was like at the swimming pool, and how like he was like, man, she had the best gams. Which actually I knew what the slang was for that. It's like 1920s slang for legs.
But what's amazing though is so that happened to us last year when we were at McKay's, but then this year another older guy was doing that to Sean and Julian, and like it was like to me it like lasted forever, and I was like, are they gonna like should I bust in?
But also they didn't make really any effort to try to like end the conversation.
They just let it roll.
They just listened to him talk.
But what was so awesome was the only way that he stopped telling his story was that like his wife like rolled in and was like, I don't know if this is his name. I'm calling Michael. I was like, there you are, Michael. It's like, have you even started shopping yet? I was like, damn, this is the first thing this guy did. It's like, you haven't even looked for your books yet, have you?
And then he was like, it's too expensive.
It's like, come on, let's go. All right. And then they just go. There was like no real like, okay, I'm going to buy your books. It's like, okay.
Well, I knew from like 2 minutes in that he wasn't going to buy anything. Like, I can kind of get a vibe from people.
Don't they want to support the local scene?
I don't know, man. He was already like complaining that the books were too expensive, so I don't know. McKay's is like a strange place when it comes to the pricing too, because I still want to figure out how they do that. Like, I don't know, this is gonna sound like
there has to be a book.
There's gonna sound like some undercover cop type thing, but I kind of want to like get a part-time job at McKay's and like figure out how they do the pricing structure, because it's very interesting to me. It's basically when you come in, you have like this giant bin and you can fill it with all your used books that you want to, I guess, trade in. And, you know, they give you a little slip that has some type of code on it. Usually it's like a few letters. And it's almost like waiting for a DMV. You know, you're waiting in line, or you get a number, or like at a deli counter.
Yeah.
It's like that. So you wait, and then, you know, you're not, like, you can still browse the store. It's not like you have to look at the screen the whole time. But, you know, usually it takes like half an hour or such. And you go up, and then you get a price back for, you know, you can get like all store credit if you want, or you get a cash or like a check for items over $20. But I don't know how they do their pricing, because also when I look around at books, like obviously I guess bestsellers aren't kind of even worth anything because there's so many of those books. Like, for example, I saw Life of Pi out there. It was 10 cents.
Is that the one with the tiger and the Indian dude?
Yeah.
10 cents?
10 cents. Like, it's basically like a worthless, I'm not saying it's worthless, but like money wise, I guess, like in that sense, it's like, it's like books, a worthless book.
Are like books just worthless to people these days?
Well, first of all, I don't know why some people even go this is gonna sound so horrible. I love that McKay's has us and like sponsors us to be there and stuff, but I think they do provide an awesome service. But then on the flip side, it's like, I don't even know why some people like go to McKay's when you can check out stuff in the library for free. Like they're, you know, if you want to get down to it, I mean, sure.
Well,
if you're gonna,
you don't have to, you get to own the book.
But though. That's what I'm saying. Like McKay's does offer a service. Like let's say if you wanted to own Life of Pi and buy that for 10 cents, like that is a steal.
Well, can't you do that at a library too? You just keep the book?
No, but it would be going against your, like it.
Your
like
record.
I think it's like 10 cents. I think it's 10 cents a day if you go over your due date.
Not 10 cents. Wow.
Well, it adds up because some people end up like putting their book, like they're like, let's say their book goes under like the car seat or something, or like their kid hides it somewhere, and then they're like, I don't know where that book was, but it was just like on my sofa the other day or something, and they like run around their house trying to look for it and they can't find it, and then they find their book like 5 years later, and then how much is that bill, you know?
Yeah.
Like it ends up being a lot. And anyway, but yeah, they do have like fines at the library, but I'm just saying, like, if you really wanted to save money, you could check stuff out at the library, and like that's all fascinating too. Like you can walk into a library and be like, whoa, look at, I can discover any book that I want, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like how McKay's is? It's like, whoa, look at all these things. Like, and also the library has a lot more comics than it used to have back in the day.
If you think about it, that's also a cool thing I like about like bookstores and libraries and stuff in general, better than like if you're shopping online.
Yeah.
I don't know,
because of the discovery.
It feels more like the classic level of discovery. You know what I mean? As opposed to like I remember when I used to like have to like hunt for like rare CDs and stuff like that, and like I remember like I don't know what it was, but like I remember like having like trying to find it at a store or at a convention or something like that. But then when you can just find it online, like you lose that sort of real sense of adventure.
Yeah,
now you're like in the digital adventure, you know.
That's why I do like digging around at McKay's, because also the one thing about their pricing structure that I don't understand is like I was using that Life of Pi example of being, you know, it's a bestseller and that's only 10 cents. But then like,
why'd you buy it? It was 10 cents.
I don't need it. I'm probably not going to read it, you know, like that's...
People do go out of McKay's with like big ass stacks of books too.
But that's what I don't understand. Like I can understand like,
well, it's Christmas present time too, right?
That's true. I can see it as presents, but like from the flip side, it's like, that's cool that you're buying a whole bunch of books, but then part of me is like, you could just go to the library. Like you don't have to like own every single book that you ever read.
But if they're buying for gifts though, that's the one thing.
No, I get it. But what I'm also saying about their pricing structure is then I saw like other books. Like I can't give you an example of what I saw, but there was some stuff that was like $20. And in my head, I'm like, you know, what if you go on Amazon and then it's like less on Amazon? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't understand their pricing structure.
That's actually the real thing I do right now too. Whenever I buy anything in person, I go look at the pricing of it, like in, you know, like as a human, and then as a machine, as a robot, then I go online and check it out. I'm like, I don't know, it's just cheaper over here, you know. But then I gotta wait
on Amazon.
You try to compute the thing. You're like, well, I can walk away with it right now, but you know, it's like, if I buy it on Amazon, you know, that it's free shipping and it comes tomorrow, but it's $5 cheaper. So you weigh in the fact that, well, it's $5 cheaper, but by this time I already spent that gas money, you know, the time of gas traveling here, I've already computed that, you know, then tax. It's like all these different factors come into play these days.
But don't you think it's interesting how you can have a book that's 10 cents, but then you can have another book that's $20, but you're like, what does it mean to you, I guess?
Yeah.
You know, at that point, it's like... Because also Life of Pi, you can probably get at the library too. Like, how do you really need to own like a flip through like paperback of it that like probably 50 other people have touched?
What if 50 people have touched it? You gotta own it.
You gotta own it. Yeah. Some people don't like used books. I
remember when we were at Third Man Records in Nashville, and they had like the final display book of like the White Stripes Great Northern Lights photo book. And then she was like, well, that's her last one. It's a display one. It's a little beat up, but that's the one we had since the beginning of the store. And I was like, I want that one because everyone touched it.
Oh my God, that's so dirty. But you know what's crazy is probably like, I remember there was this family growing up and I don't know, I guess if they're like germaphobes or what, But I specifically remember this family like would not let their kids take books out at the library. They bought all their books fresh. Which, especially back then, that was pre-Amazon. So that's like, how expensive was that? And also going to like all these nice bookstores to get their fresh book. Man, that's high end.
The fresh books, man. It's all about those
I feel
fresh
like
books.
if you compare the price on Amazon and find like the new book is within $1 price, it's probably better to order it on Amazon than like some used book. And then you can make it used yourself.
It's amazing. Amazon really has like a monopoly on that. Like, I don't know any. You can buy books from any other place, but it feels like it's just all Amazon.
Yeah, because they do offer the most competitive edge.
Yeah. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Day 3, Podcember.
In the Podcam.
In the Podcam. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We're going to see you guys again tomorrow, and we're going to try to record live the night before. What's it called? Like around the 9 or 10 o'clock area. So if you're on Instagram, Astray J, that's my handle. You'll be able to see it. You can check us out live, listen to us live, ask us questions live, whatever you want to do. We'll be here for a while.
Or should we be using the Carolyn and Joe Show Instagram?
Or maybe
we also is that our handle at Carolyn and Joe
at
Show?
Carolyn and Joe Show. I don't know. Let us know. I'm trying to go because of course Astray J has more followers than everybody.
Well, we can always flip back and forth. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But always appreciate you guys. Day number 3. You can check out Astray Productions, the guys who produce this show. AstrayProductions.com. AstrayProductions.com.
ASTRAY
Productions. Check out my work, joecarabeo.com. Also, goastray.tumblr.com. Buy this song, Run by Monday Mistress at mondaymistress.com. Also on iTunes and CD Baby, and you can listen to it on Spotify. Buy it, man. It's a good freaking song. What do you got, Carolyn?
I have a website. It is carolynbelefski.com. That's my name. And also, I am on Twitter and Instagram at Carolyn Belefski.
So there you go, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. My name is Joe.
And I'm Carolyn.
Be excellent to each other.
You're bona fide.